SMX Network production.
Welcome to the Troy Lee Designs and Racetech Suspension and Engines Blair Matthes Project.
Yeah, welcome everybody to the Troy Lee Designs Racetech Blair Matthes Project. Round one of SMX coming up this weekend in Charlotte. Thanks for watching and or listening. Really appreciate it. Great YouTube numbers and podcast number downloads also are doing really well. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. It's always tough to launch a new show, but you guys seem to like this. Probably mostly like me over my co-host, Daniel Blair. So I'd appreciate that. All right, man, lots to get into. But first, TroyLeeDesigns.com. Since 1981, Troy started paint striping or pinstriping Danny Magoo Chandler's helmet. That thing evolved into helmet painting. Then that evolved into visors, cooking in mom's oven. And then now it is where it is today, where Justin Barcia and many other riders wear it. Great mountain bike products as well. Their helmets are top notch. TroyLeeDesigns.com. Please step up and you know the legacy that they have created in this sport. Troy and all the guys down there. If you want a discount code from TroyLeeDesigns.com, email us using the contact form on Pulp. We'll send you a code. You go to Troy Lee's website, you punch in the code, you save big money. Thank you to TLD for supporting this janky show. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Jenna and Jeb for all that they do for us. Also, Racetech, Checkers, our guy Checkers, racetech.com. Moto work, suspension work. Their seminars are coming up in November, so it's September now. November, they do their motors and suspension seminars. A lot of people in the industry got started at these very seminars. Paul Feed and Rob lay out everything they know, everything they've learned over the years, and they teach you how to become somebody in the industry, man. So whether you're a local dealer, whether you want to start a hop-up shop, whether you want to get involved with a race team, start with these Racetech seminars and go to their website to learn more, racetech.com. Tell them you listen to this show and get a discount on some suspension work and moto work as well. Thank you to Racetech and Troy Lee Designs. Zool's Bag, Seat Concepts, Maxxis Tires, Decal Works, ASV Levers, Firepower, Alpine Stars, Stomp Grip, all on board with us. We'll tell you more about them later on. Producing this show is Kellen Brower, a.k.a. The Fraud, and we will pick up our fantasy picks again for SMX. I'm Steve Matthes, and with me, as usual, the co-host of this, Regional Arena Cross Champion, Daniel Blair. What's up, DB?
What's happening, Steve? I'll start kind of where you started with Danny Magoo Chandler. So I heard a lot about him growing up as a kid. Just stories, of course, the ones that I think everybody knows, some of the national stories, but a lot of local stories that I knew just from my dad racing with him and him being kind of a legend in the NorCal area. So when you say Danny Magoo Chandler, dude, my brain goes right back to my youth, just some of the crazy stories I heard about Magoo. But anyways, yeah, he was a legend. How do you think he would have done in SMX? How would Magoo have done in this upcoming playoff format?
Probably crashed his brains out. But I'll tell you what, one thing we don't talk enough about, Danny Magoo Chandler swept the motocross and trophy designations 2 weekends back-to-back, 250s one weekend, 500s the next weekend. That's how they did it back in the day. America won for the first time in 81 ever with the original MXDN team. While Magoo was on the team year 2, and against the world's best riders, he went 4 for 4. And there's an epic photo where he is so far in front around the first turn. I wasn't there, obviously. One of the all-time rides that, back-to-back weekends. Imagine how Magoo felt sweeping the designations and the trophy designations, doing that on a world stage. It must have been phenomenal. Good job, Magoo. Yeah.
And that's on the global stage. Like I said, I knew a lot of local stories from the older Hangtown days and some of the local races. Even remember the Golden States that were all big back in the day. I just remember growing up and hearing about Magoo, and then when you say his name, I'm like, dude, puts me back to my youth.
Talking to Brock, who obviously raced Magoo a bunch, and Brock's a 6-time outdoor champion and was a better rider than Magoo. But even Brock will tell you, if the dude was on, and it was pretty rare. I think he's only got 4 wins to his credit or something. But if the dude was on, untouchable. So he had that kind of speed.
The ceiling was high when he was at it.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think some of his extracurricular activities held him back a little bit as well back in the day that did with a lot of old racers, but I did not think we'd wrap about Magoo Chandler for 3 minutes to start this pod, but that's cool.
Playoffs. Let's Magoo talk to start the playoffs.
Listen, I did a previous show with those other 2 jerkies. just like an hour ago, and then I did the Moto 60 show talking SMX. I'm all SMX out. Let me get your two guys' opinion. I'll start with you, DB. Like, we're year 3 of this thing. I cannot stand that they're counting these as titles, these 3 races with single, double, triple points, where like Deegs is now a 6-time 250 champion. It absolutely makes me want to throw up in my mouth. They shouldn't count. I love the format with 2 mains. I like the money going to the teams and the riders. I like most things about it. The daytime program, getting out of there early. The Charlotte track is cool because it really makes the riders have to adapt to the different suspension settings. And I like all that. So there's plenty of positives, a few negatives to me. I don't like the point system. As I said, I don't like counting this thing as an actual championship. But DB, where do you stand?
Man, it sucks to fall right in line where you're at. I mean, I'm supposed to have different opinions here, but I'm with you pretty much almost all the way through. I like the points, though. I like the single, double, triple. Creating a system that takes it to the final round, I really like, because the one thing I don't like about Supercross or motocross, I can't stand when guys clinch early. I hate it because it just takes away the energy at the final round. I feel like it's supposed to come down to the finale. And so I like those points because it makes that, so far it's made that happen. But I'm with you on the championship thing because I just don't feel that way all the way yet. I love everything about it. I love the racing. I love the tracks. I love the money. I love that we're in September and we're doing a show hyping up a race this weekend. But I still just haven't been able to grab hold of the idea that these are legitimate championships. They're too short. They're too quick. They're too different for it to be an actual real championship. So I don't feel that way either, especially when it comes to records and numbers and all that. So I can't get on board with some of the terminology, I guess. But I love the racing. I actually love the format of the racing and the points and how you got to get in and how you got to get top 20. I feel like everything else is good. I just have a problem with you, or like you, with some of the macro terminology and some of those big things that just don't really line up for me. And
if they're going to call it playoffs and talk about other sports, but then we don't eliminate anybody, we just keep going. Like, I'm just like, okay, man, well, that's not really the playoffs then, is it? It's not really like, I mean, NASCAR, everyone races, but then there's 12 guys in the championship, then there's 8, then there's 4. And however those 4, 8 do against each other in the race of 40 is how it goes forward. And I will be fine with that. I'm not saying eliminate, Eli Tomac after round 1 if he has a bad round 1. I'm not saying that. But can we narrow the field to riders and have a true playoff system? Because these guys, they love to scream playoffs. Wygant and Lee Diffie, they're screaming playoffs. And yeah, man, doesn't really matter.
I get why. It's the pitch that this final thing has that end of year feel, and that there's a qualifying system to get in. So I get the idea, but it is playing off of other sports, especially playing off of other stick and ball sports, which again don't do it this way. Again, I don't hate any of it. Some of the things I'm just not on board with. But the one I am baffled a little bit in the short term is the name Wildcard, because not to take away anything from, of course, Cody Schock, who is in the Wildcards, or Lux Turner or Max Anstey and this list of guys, but in pro sports, in stick and ball sports, the Wildcards get in and they go on to win from the wild card position, and that's a very tall order for the guys that are in the wild card right now. So I thought the LCQ name was I think it's one of the coolest parts of our sport is the LCQ, and we're taking away the name of one of the coolest part of the sports to give it a name that doesn't tie into reality all the way. So I'm with you, and I hate that I'm with you on this, but there is a couple things that are just a little gimmicky, and that's okay. At the end of the day, the riders are making money. We're watching racing. The racing is good. I love the tracks. So for me, I'm all on board with it on Saturday, but I'm with you on the big stuff. It's just a little, a couple.
I don't care about the name Wild Card and LCQ, like whatever. I don't really care. Call it the Triple Dipper. Doesn't matter to me. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
but DB,
pretty big
listen,
problem with that one.
Before
I have a big problem with that name.
Triple Dipper.
Yeah, that don't fit. If they came out and said, hey, we changed it to Triple Dipper, I probably would be a little more aggressive right now.
Okay. Listen, Daniel, before you exiled yourself, you were involved in some of these talks about playoffs and SMX. You were at the press conference even. What did the powers that be tell you about it? Like, were you, at the time, picture Daniel Blair 3 years ago or whatever, were you like, yes, love it? Or when you heard this from Mike Mewey, Dave Prater, these type of people, Ken Adelson, I don't know if he was there yet, but did you embrace this, or did you get what they were saying, or did anything they say, privately, publicly, make sense to you on this format, on this change?
Well, it was right before my last year, so I wasn't really involved in any of that, I would say, as far as the terminology, and I never did TV for the first year of it. I was gone by that point. So I really never was all the way in tune with all of it, other than the fact that I thought it was cool that we were racing in September. I really liked the fact that we were at the LA Coliseum the first year, because I actually raced the LA Coliseum as a little kid. The Parastyles, I actually did that as a kid, and X Games one year we raced up the Parastyles, which was rad. So I had a major emotional attachment to the idea that we were racing late. There was more money getting thrown in, and we were going to the LA Coliseum, but that's about as far as it went for me. So I don't. I never really was in those meetings and conversations other than during the Supercross season, but it was so early that we were just laying the foundation of what it was. So I can't answer that fairly, but again,
listen, you were at the press conference in Charlotte when they announced this whole thing. Did they just drop this on you and not talk to you at all?
Yeah, I mean, we were there the day before rehearsing, and it was being rolled out through us, and we were talking to the riders the day before the day of. I remember having AC in the room back then as a rider, and we were literally explaining it to them that day.
Okay.
So this wasn't some premeditated thing that we were all the way prepared for. Weege and I did the press conference, that first one, but we were learning in the moment what it all kind of really was.
Yeah, so there was no 3 weeks before, hey, Daniel Weege, jump on a conference call. What do you guys think? Not that they would listen to you because everything was kind of decided by the main powers, but just wondering if you guys had a heads up sort of at all about what they were thinking. Okay, so not
minimal,
really
but a lot of it was actually being rolled out while we were there, as far as the pitch for the future. So no, and again, back to the riders, they were learning of this there, and they were like, wait, what do we do? How's this work? And I mean, no one really knew back then, because this is before the 23 season. So very minimal.
Okay, Kellen, what's your thoughts? Year 3 going to the SMX, where are you at? You're going to be at St. Louis. Are you going to Vegas? I don't know if you are or not. But what do you think, Kellen?
Yeah, I think I agree with pretty much everything you guys said. I would say the only thing I really want for it, and it's happened, and I think it's going to stay this way, is for really to kind of remain its own separate thing from a statistical standpoint. I don't really like looking back at the history books and being like, well, how many SMX wins did he have? I don't think that really matters. And I think even when you talk about other sports, NFL and MLB and stuff like that, the playoff stats are such a different thing. So as long as it stays this kind of separate, different thing, I'm okay with it.
Kellen, when you write for Swap Moto Live about Hayden, will you write 6-time 250 champ?
No, I will say he's won 4 of his, the big titles, and he's a 2-time SMX champion, basically. So
I'm not, because now you look at McGrath and 7 titles, and he's got 8, but you know what I mean? RV 9.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're like, Deegan's 6. So wait, he's 2 back of RV? Or McGrath? No.
Yeah, and it does fudge some of the history, because it's well, he's able to rack up way more championships in a unique way over 3 weekends. And you're right. Next, we're going to be blowing by Ricky's numbers. We're going to be blowing by Jeremy's numbers. And it's going to be a bunch of those came from these 3 rounds playoff things. So it does have an effect on the stat side of things, and it does confuse things for sure.
Well, like Kellen said, just keep them separate. It's the same thing. Eli Tomac won the Triple Crown Championship 2 years in a row. Literally one time didn't even know what the hell the trophy was for when they were giving it to him. No one says Eli Tomac is a Triple Crown champ. You know what I mean? Nobody adds that to his list. Now, this is more prestigious. This is more prestigious. It's a little apples to oranges, but there's an example of a title, quote unquote, earned over 3 races or 4 races that no one cares. And
the bummer part is, Steve, is that the Triple Crown terminology is being used in the Supercross season, because this, to me, is a Triple Crown. This is what this feels like. It's a 3-race runoff for a bunch of cash. It's like the Triple Crown reward races. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like in reality. But I understand their reasoning for having to treat it that way. It's just, I just don't think it's been bought onto very well, because it doesn't match the terminology. Again, it doesn't match the terminology. But outside of that, they're amazing. And to me, they're like rad Triple Crowns with a bunch of money, a bunch of monster cups that you would say there's 3 of them as Triple Crown.
Speaking of money, and I didn't put this in the group text, so I'm going to throw this at you. I'm interested to hear this from both of your standpoints. Let's say we have the fraud racing team, and they got a semi, and they got riders, 250, 450, I don't know, but it's the fraud racing team. They wear orange, they wear red noses and big orange wigs, and that, and they go out there and they race. But Kellen, the Feld guys pay you, the owner of fraud racing, the money for SMX, and you have to decide how to pay the riders. They have their own series ending money that they get, but the per race goes to the teams, and the teams decide on how much to give to riders. Now, I've done sort of informal polls of this, and it does seem like even at the highest level of factories, the factories are keeping some of their money because it's 2 extra races. I say 3. Mike Mewey was here on Monday saying 2, but I say 3. And there's 3 extra races, and all the expenses of going across the country and St. Louis and everything else. So even at the highest level, factory teams are keeping some of this money. Other people are like, no, I just give it all to the riders. And whatever they were supposed to get is what they get. And, I build it into my sponsorship. So I'm interested from the end of you two. I'll start with fraud racing. What would you do for your riders? Like, what are you saying going to your riders and saying, how much you keeping, how much you giving them? What are you doing?
I mean, I think for me, it would totally depend on like how much of a budget, hiccup we would be in. Like if it really is hindering us to do those 3 races, then yeah, I would probably go to the riders and be like, if you make it, can we cut a deal or something like that? But otherwise, I think it's more on the teams to look at this as more of an advantage or an opportunity to market yourself even more, that you were able to get one of your riders into this position in the first place. So if you're a lowbrow team like Fraud Racing, I think getting into the playoffs in the first place should be a marketable aspect for your team enough that you don't need to then take money away from the rider's pocket.
Are you taking, but if you have to take some, are you taking 20%?
Well, again, that's like, if in advance of the season, we're able to find out like, hey, we're going to be short if you make the playoffs and we cut a deal of like 20%, that makes sense to me. But otherwise, I think it should be on the team to try to make it work to get there.
Okay. All right. And what about Warthog Racing? Owned by Daniel Blair.
I was waiting to see what you came up with there. Nice work. Yeah. Warthog Racing. It's a tough one. I'm with Kellen on this. It really comes down to which team it is. Now, if you're one of the factory teams, I think you're going to be fine finding it, and you're also going to probably do solid on your riders because they are, they carry the flagship for you. They are that marketable brand out on the track. So I think I'm probably giving them all of it. I would say I know from club side, not the riders doesn't get all of it. There is a percentage cut. I don't know what it is exactly because I don't have it in front of me, but it might be a 10 to 20% kind of thing. But even that's risky because the expenses don't change. You're still going. Like our truck was here, man, and it felt good to be here. And that sucker's on its way to Vegas over the next 2 weeks. And the cost of the travel and the truck and all that is it is what it is, no matter what. And if Cody and Max go out and just absolutely have problems, whatever, and don't make any money, well, then it's like, well, no one makes a bunch of money. But if for some reason they nail it and make a bunch of cash, then the team does make a little bit of the percent back. So I think it's a complicated thing that obviously the promoters and the teams had to figure out kind of quickly on the fly. Because as I know this, that TV deal came together late in 22. This got thrown in there kind of late. So I don't think it was as easy as, hey, we're going racing, no big deal. I think it was tough, but we are a few years into this now. So I would think it'd be starting to get worked into these contracts, and knowing now that they are extending out to 2030 and Monster's coming on board officially, to me, this should be less confusing moving forward because they're not going anywhere. And you would think the riders would start being contracted that way. I'm assuming Sexton's new Cowie deal has SuperMotocross as part of it. So this is, I think, we're at the end of a conversation, and this should be changing and becoming more normalized going forward because it ain't going nowhere till 2030 at least.
And I did hear some of the teams have been balking at like, hey, man, we're not paying you Supercross, motocross money bonuses for SMX. Like, we're not paying that same amount. Like, this is, an added extra. You're not getting $1 million from us to win the 450 title. Feld will give you $1 million. Feld is kind of paying the bonuses that the riders get. So, but agents being agents, they're trying to double stack. And it's not going that well.
I would say the per race side, I agree, because I feel like they still have the same value as an individual race. Maybe not. I mean, nothing tops Anaheim 1, right? Anaheim 1, they should pay double at that one. But I think individually, I could see the argument being, hey, this is like the rest, but for a championship, That one don't make a lot of sense to me because, again, they're being paid by the series on this one. These three races are, and essentially you'd have riders making $2 million in 3 weeks. I mean, dude, I'm all about them getting paid, but that seems extremely unfair to the team. So
but I guess if
I'd
you're an
say
agent, you can ask. You can ask.
Oh, you know, believe me, man, they're gonna ask for a little bit of everything. But that one don't make sense to me. Not for championships, but individual races, absolutely.
On another off topic, it absolutely blows me away that trainers in this sport get championship bonuses. Like, it's insane. Like, hey man, I'm paying you because I want to win a championship. So you're getting paid a lot of money. Why should you get paid extra if I win? That should be the expectation. But it's nuts, man. We got trainers taking moto win bonuses and overall bonuses. It's crazy to me that these trainers are getting this. Meanwhile, mechanics are getting jack squat. But it's nuts to me.
It depends on the trainer, right? I think if you have an individual guy, like say you're Juju and you're working with Davey Millsaps, then that's something that maybe you work out where it's like, you know, because it's so personalized. But when it comes to someone that's being maybe your trainer because the whole team trains there or something like that, that one seems a little confusing because essentially you're being paid to do a job and then you're being bonused
for doing
also.
your job.
But by the end of the day, like the riders, they're gonna eventually, after they bonus out mom, dad, and their friends and everything, I mean, they're gonna end up with nothing by the end of this thing. So that one does seem surprising to me. Yeah,
like I'm paying you to train me so that I can win. That's what I want to do, and you're supposed to tell me how. And then now I'm bonusing you. I don't know. Anyways,
well, I've been coaching Cody and Max this week, so I'm gonna have to sit down with them before we go racing this weekend because I want a little something. If my dude wins the wild card.
Can you imagine what Kellen's got for a bonus program from Max? Oh my God, for the PR side of things, like
PR bonus.
It's got to be insane. Troy Lee Designs, Race Tech. Email us to save at Troy Lee Designs. Use the contact form on Pulp MX, and we'll give you a code to save. Racetech.com. I want to thank the Seat Concepts guys. Ride the world with them. Factory Beta, and we'll get to them because they're in the wildcard race. Phoenix Racing, Ampro Yamaha, SLR Honda using Seat Concepts. If you're an adventure touring guy, these guys are the place to go to for seats for that, but also for Moto 2, Race 2.0. They got proprietary foam and handcrafted seat shapes made in the USA. They put you and your ass in a better place. And Pulp 25 code saves at Seat Concepts. Pulp 25 code also saves you at ZulzBagCode.com. ZULZ bagcode.com. DB's got Zulz Bagco. So does Triumph guys, Phoenix Racing guys, Osborne, Canard, and more. They've got you covered with backpacks, roller bags, gear bags, and more. High quality, real world use functionality are just a couple reasons why Zulz is awesome. And thank you to the folks at Zulz. I also want to thank the folks at Maxxis Tires. Jeremy McGrath developing the Maxxis. You know who's got Maxxis and SMX? Mitchell Harrison, who is on an absolute heater these days. Mitchell Harrison is with his Maxxis Tires and great mountain bike tires as well, Maxxis.com. Okay, Daniel. Is there any – I mean, look, anything can happen. You got on TV, for example, so anything can happen. But what – can Deegs and Jett, like, what's got to happen? They've won both of these championships. They're the national champions right now going in. They are the heavy, heavy favorites. Without a crash or an injury, can they be beat?
I mean, that's kind of the perfect disclaimer. Can they be beat without a crash or mechanical? Like, can someone straight up beat them? And
I say no.
I just don't think so, man. I mean, honestly, the only thing that really can get them is maybe the format, because it is only 6 actual gate drops for them, and the shorter the better for the competition. Because if you go 22 motos or 17 rounds of Supercross with Jett without an injury, I just think he's going to figure out how to get it done probably fairly easily. But 6 gate drops means that's less opportunity for the thing to get too spread out. The point system obviously helps with that. So if you can hang in there and stay in there, then maybe you get a shot at the final round like Hunter did last year. Hunter almost got him. So it's definitely a possibility, but straight up, like, no, not right now. I mean, Hayden's the best guy. And I know he got pretty mouthy there at the last round at Budds Creek and started saying, I win when I want to and blah, blah. He's kind of not wrong. I mean, he definitely was hurt a little bit there mid-season with the Red Bud ordeal. He definitely played it safe for a couple of weeks as he was wrapping up the title. But then when he decided it was over and he wanted to smash, he kind of smashed him at the last round. So I feel like in this format, when he needs to win, he will. And then Jett, again, is just one step better than everyone else. I think Hunter will be great. I think Chase, I don't know. Actually, I'll flip a coin on that. I mean, I think we're going to get into that, but I just don't think anyone can beat either one straight up, Steve. I mean, almost, I'd say pretty firm, hard no.
Yeah, I'm that way too, Kellen. What are you thinking? Hard no?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Right.
They're just the best. They
Yeah.
are the best of their classes by far, and they've just proven it over and over and over. And I think we could fake hype it up, right? And we could, this and maybe that. But if we're just living in reality and we're just sitting here being honest, like no one's going to beat them straight up. And if they do, then we need to celebrate them very hard after the season because it hasn't been done in a while. Hayden hasn't lost in a long time. Jett hasn't lost other than the times when he's been out. They have not been beat straight up, either one of them, in a long time.
Joe just beat Hayden at Unadilla.
Titles.
Oh, titles. Yeah, got it. Sorry.
You're talking Charlotte, then race by race things, whatever. But overall, no.
No, you're right.
They have
Interesting to look at the 250 points, the SMX points. I kind of was glancing at it. This is all season long, Supercross, Motocross. Hayden's over 200 points ahead of Garrett in third. 200 points over 28 races. And Joe is 100 ahead of Garrett and 100 back of Deegs. Like, so Joe and Hayden Deegan are by far the best 250 riders in America going into 3 rounds of SMX. There's just no doubt about it. The numbers say it week in and week out.
Yeah. What you're hoping for is that some of the other guys who have given us glimpses can give us a little bit more than a glimpse, like Levi Kitchen. I do think that on the motocross side of things, they had a tough time with the starts on the PC Cowies. I know it got better there at the end, but with the deep loamy soil, I don't think it's a new generation bike, so it's not all the way where it's going to be. But on these harder packed surfaces, those bikes can get some pretty good starts. Look at Hammaker all during Supercross. So throw Levi Kitchen I'll throw him a bone here. Maybe he's got a chance to kind of really break out. I know how motivated he is after a tough summer. Cole Davies, which we'll get into. Juju is really good in these things too. So I think that there's a chance for individuals to get out there moto by moto and really make something happen. But again, Hayden has too much damn time in 20 minutes. He can sit back there and wait around for a while, figure it out, and then just go. So I'm hoping for Kitchen and Davies and Hammaker and Joe, just moto by moto. Like, give us something. Give us a reason to jump up and scream. I just don't see the math working for any of them over the course of 6 races. I mean, that's 40 minutes. 40 minutes a weekend for 3 weekends. No one's going to beat them straight up over the course of that.
It's interesting you mentioned Kitchen because I just did a janky show for Racer X SMX preview, and I mentioned Kitchen as well. So they found some stuff out for starts on their bike.
Yeah.
He's been using Drew Adams suspension stuff that he likes. He finished Bud strong. He, definitely this is a fresh start. Hey, get the bad juju, not Beaumer, just juju in general. Get that off of my chest and let's go. Like, I think Kitchen could be a sleeper. Beaten Deegs? No. But I think Levi can be a real sleeper as far as getting on the podium consistently, maybe winning a moto. If Deegs doesn't get a great start. So Kitchen would be my pick. I think he could happen. I look at the bike changes and I look at some confidence and then I look at a new start for him.
And I think you and I talked about this at one point this season. I know this is how I feel. I've shared this before on my shows. I'm okay with a Hayden Deegan and a Jett Lawrence win. I've gotten to the point where if they win, okay, I'm fine with it. But as long as we have something along the way, give me 15 good minutes, man. Spar with him. Go back and forth. Give us a reason to stay engaged late. And it's easier to accept. What I don't like is when they get out front and just check. And it's like, man, because no one's going to catch them if they're up in the lead by 3 or 4 seconds, 5 minutes in. It's like, damn it. Like this one is now over. And I'm looking at other storylines, which no storyline is ever as good as the guy winning. That's always the best. So I'm with you. Kitchen is one that could pop. And if he goes 15 minutes or 18 in and spars and comes up a little short, I'll call that a win for him for the year that he's had. That's all I'm hoping for out of any of these guys is give us a reason to stay engaged late. Don't let runaways happen. And especially with Jett, because Jett, we know how he does it. He's I call him Mr. Boring. He sits 4 seconds in front of these guys and just plays around, and that sucks. So someone get in there and just go 15 minutes deep and make these things fun. That's what I hope.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I hopefully we'll see that. A lot of buzz in my group text about Cole Davies and the potential to pull off a win or challenge Deegs. Obviously, moto isn't his thing, except he just got third at Budds Creek. Then he got a win with the penalties. And Charlotte is the most moto-y we're going to see out of the three with its outdoor section and braking bumps and such. But what do you think, Cole Davies, DB?
I'll give you some good and some bad about that idea. The good is he was incredible last year in Vegas. Incredible. That's where he really put it all together, broke out, smashed all the SMX Next All-Star kids. I mean, he killed them that day.
Yeah, but dude, I don't care. Daniel, you're sounding like that other guy that's short and used to race. Like, dude.
Let me say the good and
he
bad.
dominated. Dude, Davies, watch out. Dominated SMX. Okay, cool, man. Like, that doesn't mean anything.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does.
Can we just go off his Supercross like this year against pro riders?
I haven't gotten to the negative part yet. Okay, then I'll start there for you. You want to hit this one more pessimistic? I'll start there first.
No, I don't need pessimistic.
There's no whoops.
Vegas SMX and like as if that even means anything.
He was great there last year. That's where the finale is. I mean, he was like ridiculously great. Anyways, there are no whoops in SMX, and
right.
If you go back to Supercross, Davies was good at everything, but he was freaking psycho great in the whoops, and that did help him a little bit with his break. More than a little bit. That helped him break out this year. So he won't have that going for him. The motocross thing is going to come around. Now, Budds Creek showed what he could do. You get him a good start. You get him up front. The kid is a phenom, so he's going to go and do that. But I don't think these tracks are just a guarantee that Davies is going to pop. I think there's a lot of reason that he can, but there's also some strengths of his that aren't on the track. But I bring up Vegas because I know he was really good there last year. I mean, it was his kind of all the way together moment of 2024. And then St. Louis, of course, he's been in that stadium before in a Supercross setting, and that one is going to be more Supercross-like. So I actually like him to be maybe better at the last two than he would be at the first one. I think Juju's going to be the one that's good at the first one like he was last year. This is where he broke out. And riders are weird, man. They connect with places for whatever reason. So for me, I could see a Juju early start, and Davies will probably be better at St. Louis and Vegas.
Sir, 2 weeks ago, he was snoozing on the track. Like, I don't know how you come back from snoozing on the track to probably not riding much to doing well at Charlotte.
He was good there last year, and he's good when he's right. And if he's
come
racing,
off a bad concussion, pass a test, and do well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not putting my money on it. I'm just saying I tie those things in. I think those things do matter. And if he is good in whole shots and takes off and leads a couple of these things early, I wouldn't be surprised because he's got that potential. And then Davies, again, I think it'll be better for him on the more Supercrossy rounds, which will be the second two, especially when I know he was great in Vegas last year. So,
all right. Wild cards for 250s. We got Lux Turner. We got Masterpool, Cullen Park, Avery Long. I don't know if Bennick's in or out.
What about Bennick and Anstey? That was my question.
Anstey is in. What do you think of wild cards?
Well, how many?
They're going to take
who's
5.
Not racing?
We think they're going to take 5.
Because there's no RJ, right? So that's
right.
1 plus a 2. Who are the other 2 out?
I don't know, man. 5.
All right, 5. If it's 5, I mean, you just named it the 5. I mean, man, Anstey for sure.
Masterpool.
Harp and Hymus are the other 2 guys that are hurt, by the way.
Okay, that makes sense because Harp did announce that. So, those 2 for sure. I mean, Lux, Cullen Park, Bennick, of course, depending on if he's in or out. I mean, it might be one of those things where there's 5 guys that we on paper go, yeah, those are the 5. And then these things are, I believe, 4 minutes long plus a lap. I mean, they are really, really quick. So I think we could see some fun things happen. You get some guys that maybe aren't supposed to get in on that list of 5, get a good start and roll with it. But I actually think because of the way it's worked out, we will have really entertaining wild cards. I mean, I'm being politically correct here. The wild cards.
Also,
I think they're going to be good, dude. I actually think they're going to be probably one of the more fun parts of the day.
Quick to jump in, but Moseman's not on the entry list either, so that should make it 6 guys in.
6 out of 10 or whatever they're going to have. Rod Bell's in. I know that. Rod Bell's on the entry list.
On a 250?
Yeah.
Luke Neese got in. He was riding today out at club on his 250. He pulled out. He's been on a 450. He pulled out the race bike today because he got in too. So that's going to be a tough go, though. That list is brutal, dude. I mean, we're talking Anstey won a race and Masterpool's won a national a year ago. I mean, dude, that's tough.
Yeah, I feel like Masterpool, Anstey, and Park, and maybe Lux Turner are stamped. You know, they're pretty damn good guys. Last year we saw the same. We saw 4 riders make all 3 rounds from the 250 LCQ last year, and Lux Turner was one of them. So they kind of, once you get it done once, you kind of learn it. You're on it. You're riding well. Your physical fitness as well. All of that, and then you can roll that over for 3 weeks in a row.
Well, it's when you have a couple guys that didn't get in that really should be in, but because of injury, they're not. They're going to go get in. I think the races would be more exciting if it was like a true LCQ or wild card where you have 7 or 8 guys who are about even. That's why Supercross 450 LCQs are some of the best races ever. I mean, it's a legit dogfight. There's 10 guys that are about the same, but we don't get that in these all the time because of the injuries. So,
Stomp Grip, Troy Lee Designs and Race Tech. I want to thank the folks at Stomp Grip. SMX 25 for 10% off, trusted by top riders across Supercross, Motocross, Off-Road, and more. These are custom dirt bike kits specifically designed to fit your bike. They offer universal dirt bike kits that you can cut to fit to create your own 3D grip tape pieces. This is grip tape to help you control the bike. You need to stay locked in with Stomp Grip, engineered for high friction zone. Please check them out, stompgrip.com, code PulpMX25 to save, and Alpine Stars as well. You know about the gear, obviously, but they also have protection gear, whether it's neck braces, whether it's chest protection to go over top of your jersey or under top of your jersey, front, back, elbows, shoulder stuff, knee cups as well. Their knee cups are great. Alpine Stars protects. Thank you to those guys for coming on board. Daniel, so we know Jett's going to win, we think. And then after that, give me Chase 55 to 45% over Hunter. If either one beats the other guy, I'm fine with it. I think they're going to be really close. I'll take Chase. Eli's starts, I don't think will be there enough over 6 motos to challenge. He'll have some good moments, but I don't know if his starts will be good. Kenny's frisky. He's Ken Roxon. He's a badass. He'll be frisky in there. And then Justin Cooper will ride well. RJ Hampshire will ride well. But I think it goes Jett, Gap, Chase Hunter, Gap, Kenny, Eli, RJ, Cooper-ish. Yeah, that's pretty solid. I mean, that's how I would put it too. You hope that Eli can come out swinging and firing on maybe tracks that aren't going to challenge the setup, because I know this year he seemed to have fought setup a little bit, which I know with him is always, it's a little hot and cold. But you would hope that, Kenny too. But I just feel, to your point, is that the length of the race is 20 minutes. Hunter's going to go the distance, so is Chase. My question, I'll throw this back to you, Sexton. What are we going to get out of him here? Because he's a trier, man. He goes for it. The guy sends it no matter what. But at the same time, he is moving on. He knows he's moving on, and he's not dumb either. And sometimes these guys make some business decisions and decide that maybe I'm not going to send myself to my limit because I do have a future to think about. I'm getting ready to switch. Do you think we'll get the absolute all-in best of him with everything we've seen, with some of the dysfunction in the relationship, knowing that he's moving on? Do you think we get the absolute best of Chase? Because if we don't, I kind of go maybe Hunter 2 alone, and then I'd put Chase more in the Eli category. So what do you think? By the way, I didn't even mention Cooper Webb making his comeback too. He'll be in the mix. I think that, yes, I don't think Chase is stoked on KTM or the bike, and he's leaving. But you know what these guys like? Money. They really like money. And so their money's on the line. It's 6 motos, relatively easy tracks. Nothing's going to challenge these dudes, right? As far as being hairy or gnarly, no whoops. So yeah, I think with an easier tracks and money on the line, Chase has to stay sharp for MXDN. That thing he definitely cares about. So yeah, give me a motivated Chase Sexton, I think.
Okay. I lean that way too. I just question because it's once you're moving on, you make some decisions differently. And we've seen it in the NFL. Players make decisions sometimes when they know not to put themselves in jeopardy. So I was just curious about that. I think the goal of this show is to never not bring up Prado, but how do you think Prado does?
Oh my God. Well, short races, good starts.
What if he just crushes it?
He also he can't not qualify. He's in, so we won't see we won't see those shenanigans. Honestly, if you told me Prado was 5th to 11th, I'd say, yep, okay, cool. Anywhere in there. 5th to 11th, right?
Think about it. There's no whoops. The bike settings, I think, definitely play a role in these races, but he seemed to have liked that bike on Supercross. At least he said that going into the season. No whoops. Man, what do we say next week if he just goes 4 or 5 at the first one? Like, is he
gotten,
capable of that? I mean,
yeah,
that means he's beaten Kenny, he's beaten RJ, he's beaten Jake, he's beaten a lot of good dudes. And which is what we're coming off of a Buds. I mean, what are the odds that the guy just goes out and smashes and just twists this whole story up even more? And then Kim and Cowie are like on Monday morning, like, well, what do you think, man? I mean, I think it's done. But you know what I mean? Like, what if he just goes out there and smashes Charlotte?
No.
Kellen?
I mean, we just came off a race where the gentleman, pretty sure the gentleman tried not to qualify.
Yeah, but then he went out and hole shot from the outside gate. Like, why did he do that?
He didn't hole shot. He was like,
he
stiff.
definitely
but
went for it.
No, can you imagine how toxic it is? I mean, just look at what their motor builder, Dean Gibson, put on his social. Dean had to take it down. I think he had reprimanded for it. But like, that's what's going on right now. So I don't see any moods being great about anything over there right now. And I think if it was anything but a monster team, he probably wouldn't be racing. Or if they had another rider, if Anderson was still there. So
keep an eye on it. I to me, it would just be hilarious if he just came out and was like, damn. And I actually think he's capable of it.
I love this guy.
Hey, you never mind.
Kellen, do you see any hope of killing it?
Yeah, what's he get, Kellen?
No, he's, in my opinion, he's pretty checked out on this whole thing. I don't think, obviously right now, money is not of his opinion or matter. Otherwise, he'd be trying to make this Cowie thing work a little bit more. So I don't think there's really any incentive. I think he's going to go there and do 3 races and walk over to an orange bike afterwards.
What's he get?
10 to 15-ish.
Oh, okay. See, I was a little higher. Yeah, I said 6 to 12, didn't I? Or 5 to 12.
Yeah, I think a dart right around 9-10 probably feels about right. But
he seems to have this thing where if certain people start passing him, he pulls the ripcord. So like if Guillaume goes by him, we're done. He's completely done.
Guillaume's ripping this week, dude. Hey, and my apologies to all the fans listening right now that have had enough of this. I'll take the blame. My bad, Steve. Let's just move on back on track. This was not part of the plan. My apologies.
Sounds good. Okay, we got the fantasy coming up as well. Coming up here on the Troy Lee Designs Race Tech Code show. I should say you want a code to save with Troy Lee Designs. Simply email us to the contact form on PulpMX, and we will pass that on. A couple things. I want to talk about futures or whatever the hell it's called. And then also I want to talk about, Christian Craig made the news this week.
Yeah.
Had another year left at Star. He started off, I'm going to train Deegs. I'm going to race Supercross. I'm going to fill in outdoors. Didn't train Deegs for long, then didn't fill in for outdoors, and then parted ways with the team a year early. Like, I can't help but think his stepbrother, Jeremy Coker, was there when the deal was made. And, of course, Coker left to go to Triumph. And then the Deegan training thing didn't work out. I know he wanted to race SMX. He wanted to race outdoors. The team apparently not letting him go. He's won a title for them. So, there's lots of loyalty both ways there. So, to me, like taking the WSX money and getting a quad lock Honda ride for WSX, I don't know what he's doing for 26. I'm surprised that he walked away from a deal, Daniel.
I kind of am too, except for they weren't letting him race. So it's one of those things where I don't know what he was getting paid. Essentially, he's getting paid to do nothing and just sit there. And if the guy is motivated to still race, and that's what you want to do, and you're not just trying to collect money, then he's probably bored, frustrated, annoyed, like a lot of things. And he's probably like, dude, just get me. And he said in his Instagram post, I think per his request, he asked to be let go. And then boom, he immediately is going racing. And if you're him, you realize probably that your ambitions in the 450 class in the American Supercross Championship, with the way the class is right now, how stacked it is, like, I don't think there's a lot of hope there. But let me get in on this World Supercross thing while that thing's starting to rebuild itself, because he does have a place there. I mean, he's the exact guy that they would want there, a former 250 Supercross champ, a guy who rips on a 450, who can go in 5 weeks and travel the world. So to me, this all really, really makes sense for him. Like, he gets to go do the next chapter, get it started, instead of being trapped maybe in a contract where he's getting a little bit of money but can't race his motorcycle and losing all of his value. I mean, I forgot he was even on the team, dude. That's bad for him. That's not fair. I mean, think about it. If you're him, people are forgetting that you're there because they've just shelved you. So to me, it's probably a good thing for them just to get him off the books, and it's a good thing for him. He gets to go race his dirt bike and start the next chapter in a place where he's going to be competitive and might win the damn thing. So I think it's great all around, especially for him.
Pretty surprised, Kellen, that this happened?
Yes and no, because I think it was like obviously trending in a bad direction, but I mean, I'm surprised that just like nothing seemed to work behind the scenes from what I heard. Like it wasn't like they were working through issues together or trying to make him feel more comfortable and get a bike and all this stuff to ride during the week. Like just everything doesn't sound like it was pleasant on really either side. So that's probably the most surprising thing to me, that it fell through so poorly.
Doesn't it seem like at Star, like if you're in, then Bobby Reagan will do anything and say anything and whatever. But if you're out, like a Romano or a Fry or you know, you name the kids, Christian Craig now, if you're out of the circle, they determine that you can't give them value, then you are out. Like it does seem like that. Like it's like Survivor, like a Survivor Island over there.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it seems to be week by week, month by month, with Christian Craig, maybe year by year. But I'm going to be nice for now, Steve. I'm going to take a little break on my star talk. We'll see what happens with Cade Manier, because if that kid ends up with nothing, and I don't think that he's locked in yet, but if he ends up with nothing after all this, I'm going to have a thing or two to say, and it was going to be very, very mean. Because
you're going to say they rushed him. They rushed him. They did.
I'm just going to say that I'm going to save it. Just do what's right.
All right. Stay tuned for the TLD Race Tech Blair Matthes project.
Hopefully they do what's right.
Right.
Because if not, I'll let it all out.
Okay. This is the part of the show where you talk about Decal Works and ASV, Daniel.
That's right. Great partners. Great partners, decalmx.com, of course. From beginners to seasoned vets, race teams, project builds, and magazine tests, Decal Works, their mission is to cater to those who love to ride, upholding the true definition of quality, service, and knowledge. Visit decalmx.com and use the promo code PULPMX25 to get 20% off on your next order. ASV Invention, celebrating 25 years as the inventor of the original unbreakable adjustable motocross lever. The latest colorway of the EMIG Pro Pack Plus is now available in red, white, and blue. They are now accepting racer support and sponsorship applications for the 26 amateur and pro seasons in every class. You can apply now through hookit.com, mxsponsor.com, or go directly to ASV's website. And you can use the code PulpMX in all caps at asvinventions.com. You get 20% off on ASV products.
Love ASV guys and the Decal Works guys as well. Yeah, it's great. Okay, so this is a part of the show where you two, the Fraud and Daniel Blair, you guys discuss futures and who's going to win and what's going on. Because they got no more Super Minis, no more 125s or whatever, just 3 rounds
65s.
of 65s. Yeah. No more of that.
I'll start with this. I was there at the inaugural 65 race. I've never been so scared in my life. I was KTM Orange Brigade team manager, and oh my God, watching these kids jump this stuff all over the place was terrifying. They got through it, no injuries. Last year, of course, was the big debacle with the kid that was told he couldn't jump the finish line, Steve, and he's just said F it. And a kid named Carter Gray, and was just sending it, and it was pretty rad and defiant. But so anyways, yeah, they got rid of it this year, got rid of the Super Minis too. I'm actually not against that. I hate that I'm saying this because I loved it for them, but it really felt like we were just getting away with one every week, like nothing bad was happening. Even that first Super Mini one in Chicago, I mean, there was some big crashes at that one, Kenyon Richards being one of them. So I kind of feel good about the idea of these things not being there, because I just felt like we were getting lucky without the injuries. So yeah, Kellen, I guess it's you and I now, but I love this class. Obviously, I'm probably one of the biggest proponents of SMX Next and Futures Combines, All-Star races, and they get 2 of them. It's its own championship. They're kind of using that weird point system too, where the first one's a single, the second one's a double. And we're missing a couple heavy hitters. Landon Gordon, of course, going to Star, so he won't be there. Luke Fowler had an injury last week. Deacon Deno, who just announced is going to Triumph, he won't be there. I think he had an injury last week too. So we lost a couple, but it's still loaded beyond belief. So Kellen, I'll go to you on this. Give me your top 3 in the All Stars.
Oh man, I don't know. Top 3's hard to pick. I will say Temmerman, just from the simple fact that like he seemed to always be in Gordon's hip pocket all season with the Supercross stuff, and then obviously he's improved a little bit outdoors. So I expect him to do well, but then I don't know. Like I rate Landon Gibson pretty highly, and I feel like he should also do really well with this. And then we saw Ryder Malinowski do really well in the past with this too. Like I don't know that I have a favorite anymore because it seems like the favorites aren't there right now to really do the winning. And I think it could be any one of those guys. Like obviously Landon Hartz is going to be good. I think you'll know more about this than me, but I'm just excited to see where these guys fit in.
Yeah, and Steve, I'll welcome you back into this segment because you do know some of these names. Dudney, who was great at Unadilla, he's in. Supercross didn't go great for him. He's still a little bit of a project in Supercross, but there's no whoops, and I expect him to be crazy fast. And, of course, Timmerman, you saw what he did. He was getting points at all the Nationals this year. So those would be two names that you do know in the pro side. And, of course, Vincent Way will be there. So what do you think about those three, Steve?
Vincent Way crashes a lot, and his dad never crashed. So I don't know what the hell's going on. He's a PulpMX athlete, and he's awesome, and he's rad. But good God, Vince needs to stay off the ground. And did I hear this right? Fowler's bike broke and cartwheeled into Justin Brayton?
We had a bike malfunction that put Fowler on the ground. As he hit the ground, the bike hit the air, and JB10, who was riding with the boys, plowed right through the motor.
And does Wygat know this? Because like Wygat's going to light that place on fire.
I'm surprised he hasn't already. But yeah, we did have a Fowler. We knew this was coming, Steve. A Fowler Brayton crash.
Yeah. It was only a matter of time.
It was only a matter of time when these two were going to get together and have a crash. But no.
Okay, I wasn't really listening. So, but Deacon's out and Landon Gordon's out.
Yeah, he I believe has just made the move on to the future to start. But right. Manir is in these things, and he didn't race any futures, but he did win a combine at Hangtown, and he didn't ruin his eligibility. So Manir, Dudney, and Timmerman have all three raced at the pro level, and Gibson, of course, too, did obviously better at the last one at Budds Creek. So those four have raced at the pro level, but they didn't ruin their eligibility. So they are all they're all back on the gate for this thing.
Right,
so
I'll take a star guy. I think a star guy wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I know. Are they giving a championship after each round, or is this a real championship where they keep track of points?
Per lap. Per lap.
So okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
Just
bring you up on stage, and Pelletier will give you a plate, and everybody gets a trophy.
Lap.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a 2-round championship, double points at St. Louis. And the four I named are the four.
They're not riding Vegas?
No, not Vegas. Just the first two, just Charlotte and St. Louis.
All right.
Yeah, and the reason for that, too, a little bit of backstory here. In Vegas last year, because of the KTM juniors, they couldn't put the All-Star class at night. They didn't have room in the schedule, so they raced during the day, which is just a waste. I mean, that's just pointless. So essentially, they replaced the 65s and Super Minis with the All-Stars to give them night. I mean, they're going to be in the main program, which is, I mean, without that, it's pointless. So it was a good move, all around, good move.
Kellen, who wins? Our star kid?
I will go Temmerman just to be different because I do think he's capable of doing it. But I mean, yeah, the star kids will be good. I'm a little bit opposite of DB with Dudney still because like I need to see anything of any semblance of quality riding on a Supercross track before I'm there. And I know it's not Supercross, but we got to start timing jumps better. We got to feel comfortable with tight corners. Like we got to see a little more. So.
I'll go top five. I don't know the order, but let's go Ryder Malinowski, Wyatt Thurman, Jeremy Fapani, Jace Wolf, and McCaden Fitch in some order, 1 through 5.
I think you made some of those names up.
No,
I don't think those are real people.
All 5 of them are our training.
Did you say Wolf? Somebody's named Wolf?
Jace Wolf, yes.
Wolf Blitzer?
Not Wolf Blitzer, but all 5 of them are at club training.
So that's Kellen. That's why he did that. That's why you were laughing. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah, there you go.
I honestly thought you were. We played a game on Pulp where Lewis was reading me the names of real GP riders, and then he made names up, and I had to guess.
That's a great game.
And I thought we were playing that game again.
No, I was laughing too because I knew that you would know most of those names, if at any. So
no, the last 3, I'm out, completely out.
That's good.
Okay. By the way, do you guys? I brought this up on the Racer X show, and maybe people don't want to watch it because they don't like the Jasons, which I understand totally. Let me ask you guys. I loved year 1. Charlotte's a great hybrid track. Chicago was more moto, and then Coliseum was Supercross. And then last year, Dallas sucked balls. Hybrid was good in Charlotte, and then Vegas was and now we're going Vegas, good track in Charlotte, straight soupy in St. Louis. And the last time I checked, this is called the SuperMotocross series. And why don't we have more of a moto feel to this? Could we, and I know Feld runs this, I think MX Sports gets the revenue from one round because they took one national away. I think that's what they ended up doing. But anyways, I know Feld runs this, but could we not go to High Point, put in a couple of rhythms, and then have 80% moto? You know, like, should we have more of a motocross aspect to this series like year one in Chicago?
Okay. Kellen, you want to go first or not? I'm going to go the exact
Is that a crazy
opposite.
idea? Okay.
Just for entertainment value, I would rather have it go more Supercross. I've seen enough outdoor for the last 3 months. I want to see him jump. I mean, I want to see rhythms. I get to know. I mean, if it was me, I would go 3 Monster Cup type tracks. I thought Monster Cups were amazing. Those were so fun. Everything was kind of like bigger and kind of rounder, big kind of floatier jumps. No whoops. I don't believe there was no whoops there. And to me, 3 Monster Cup tracks to me would be more entertaining than. I think they try to force this into working, and it barely pulls itself off. And I think the motocross side is what ruins it a little bit. So for me, this might not be popular with the traditionalists and the diehards, but I wish it was a little more Supercross. St. Louis is going to be the best one.
Danny Magoo Chandler just rolled over in his grave. That you said.
Yeah, he's not stoked. But I'm looking forward to St. Louis more than any because they are trapped in a more Supercross style.
Yeah, Daniel, that's just round 18 of Supercross.
It's not though. I mean, the track's goofy and weird, and like it's not Supercross. It's Monster Cup. It's more Monster Cup style.
What about a Joker Lane? Cup. Joker Lane?
Yeah, Gator Pit, all of it. Might as well.
Fraud?
I mean, I'll be a little bit different. I agree with the entertainment value of it. It needs to be a little bit more Supercrossy, but I wish we would not go to drag strips. Like, I think the racing on these tracks has kind of proved to be pretty meh. The layouts that they can do are also a little meh.
Yeah.
And I think that it would be better off if we went back to Daytona or Talladega or something like that and had a Supercross type of race in those venues. And then, I don't know, go to a motocross track and just like have that be round 2, like not straight up moto, like maybe a rhythm section or 2, but that just at least one of the 3.
Troy, let's bring back Troy, Ohio, round 2 of the playoffs. Steve,
I don't want to give JT any credit here, but I have to give him credit. And he's mentioned this. It's just getting venues. What he hears from people in charge at this time of year, football, baseball, college. Yeah, venues are an issue for these guys. So hence drag strips and janky NASCAR tracks that are abandoned like Chicago.
But Daytona's done. Like Daytona's already had their second of 2 races, so they go back there. Talladega is going to be done soon.
But
too,
I think
so.
Kellen, they don't want to. You notice the series has gone east, central, west, right?
Yeah,
so they don't want to.
But that's what I mean.
Oh, so no Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, go to Talladega. Go to what's the one up at
if
Knoxville?
Only the Daytona Motorsports Group had anything to do with the sport at all. If only.
They should get on the phone.
No, great points. I just want to see more of a motocrossy one round. I just want to St. Louis is going to be. I mean, first of all, press box in St. Louis way too high, but cool town, home of Anton. I mean, Anton will be there. But yeah, I just want to see more motocrossy stuff involved. I thought Chicago was awesome from that point of view. It was dark and oh wow, look at DB. Like the guy that's ridden 5 nationals in his life is going to stay strong with this.
I'd rather have one round be arena crowd. Go back to the MGM Grand for one of these suckers.
Do you know any fair races that would fit in well?
Yeah, Salinas, man, they have a sick fairgrounds there. They could close it down in Salinas.
Hey, everybody! Eli Tomac is in Salinas, California. All right. Troy Lee Designs, Race Tech, Zool's Seat Concepts, Maxxis Decal Works, ASV Levers, Firepower, Alpine Star, Stomp Grip. It's time for the fantasy segment of this show. I didn't want to do this after the bullshit outdoor motocross, Michael Mosman screwing me over and Daniel winning. But I got outvoted 2-1. So we're doing this for SMX 3-round series. The fraud is picking. Let's do this.
Double points and triple points, right? We're going along with it.
I mean, is that what you
Is
guys
this-
want to do? We can do that. The rules are not complete yet. They're not
They're not in
concrete.
pen. They're in pencil.
Yeah.
What are we doing, Steve? Double, triple? You scared? What do you want?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Gimmick cross it.
Oh, how about the trade last week?
Yeah, you didn't even review what happened, Steve.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't bring it up. What happened? The trade. I traded for Prado. I know that.
And that
actually
kind
did.
of worked out. Kind of
It
worked
did.
out.
Hey, I went online and was talking mad shit. And then all of a sudden, I'm like midway through Moto 1. I'm like, oh, dude, this is going to backfire so bad. And then luckily I got away with one. But, dude, I was about to have to eat one so bad.
Did I have shock? How did that work?
No, I tried to give you Henry Miller, and you were so far out on that, so you wanted to trade Henry Miller for Prado, basically.
You were right, though. Prado ended up being way more solid than Henry Miller was for me, but you got burned in the 250s, and that's what saved me. But your 450 trade did not burn you.
Who burned me in the 250s?
Juju.
Oh,
Juju.
yeah. Damn it.
Yeah.
So Daniel, did you pull ahead more, or how did that go last round?
I don't
was
remember.
pissed off. I know you won, but
What happened, Kellen? I just know I won. Did he close up a little though?
I'm trying to look right now. I think it was about the
Juju-
same.
Yeah, it ended up being close, but
because you had a bad guy too, Daniel. I think.
yeah, Henry Miller, the guy I traded for.
Yeah.
DB entered 12 up and won by 14, so he pulled away by 2 points.
Yeah. So we stayed the same.
Yep.
All right, so it's a new season, new attitude. Here we go. The fraud picks.
Championship too on the line.
Yeah, how are we doing this?
On the
What's the format?
Okay, so the format will be I'm going to give you guys one 250 pick and one 450 pick each week. But to turn it back on you guys to make the pressure picks a little bit more interesting, you each are going to have to pick a wild card, aka an LCQ bound guy that not only has to make it, but then you pick where he's going to finish once he makes it. So if he doesn't make it and you pick him as finishing 10th, and you're going to have a big score. But if he does make it and gets that score, then it's good.
Are we so if I say 10th for Benny Bloss, and I know it's crazy to think that Benny would just cartwheel, but let's say he cartwheels and doesn't qualify, how many points off do I get? 10? Is it 30? What are we doing?
Well,
what's the penalty?
25.
In Supercross, we did it as a +5 to the 22, so it would be like 27th place. But there's only 30 guys, so we could just do 30th place.
Oh God.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Right? I feel like that's good.
Yeah.
And then, these are the wild card racers. So you really.
But wait, can I throw? Go ahead, because I got a twist.
Shouldn't we just pick the wild card guys without you giving it to us?
I'm not giving it to you. You pick.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
that's the
All
point.
right.
You pick who you want to make it in and where they're going to finish.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. I'm down with that.
I don't think we should be allowed to pick the same guy twice in the 3 rounds. Whoever
you
pick,
I was going to say that too.
Once.
Yeah. Good addition.
That way you don't,
because
otherwise you're going to go shock 12th 3 rounds in a row, and like that's just not fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
Can we pick the same wild card?
Like per week?
No, just like right now. Can we both pick?
I will allow that because I don't want it to be like, oh, he got favoritism for going first. That's fine.
Okay.
So
all right.
Okay. Let's lead off with Steve though, because he did take the L outdoors, so he comes in as the underdog to the SMX Championship.
Underdog.
450 pick this week, Cooper Webb.
He's distracted, dude. He's got a new track he's opening up tomorrow.
Yeah. Live show tomorrow night too with Coop. Coop will be at our live show.
I'll go to dinner with Steve.
Okay, so Jett will beat him. Hunter will beat him. Chase will beat him. After that, he can beat those guys. But Willie, let's go 5th.
All right, 5th for Coop. Your 250 pick is Levi Kitchen.
Oh, I'm in on the Kitch. I'm in on the Kitch to the point where he's going to get 3rd.
All right, I like it. And wild card, what you got?
Either class?
Either class.
Oh, it's just one or one in each class?
One total. I'm not going to do each class.
Okay.
What?
No, we should go. We have to pick a 450 this week and a 250 next week. And then a 450.
Do you got so then it's uniform. All right. Let's do 450 this week. 450 wild card.
Okay. Let's go, Benny. Let's do this. Benny Bloss, everyone, right to the main event. And in that main event, Benny will get 11th.
I like it. That's strong. That is a strong one for sure.
Let's go, BB.
All right, DB, your picks. Leading off with Eli Tomac.
Eli. All right. Let's go. I don't know if you guys know this, but he was posting videos on Instagram today. Like, he's all excited, dude. He don't do that from his actual own phone. Let's go 3. Let's go 3 at the opener.
Bold. I like it. And then 250 pick Tom Vial.
Ah, damn it. 5.
You guys are opposite of each other.
How's his shock? Is his shock okay?
Well, it's 91 degrees on Saturday. It's going to be a little hot.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'll go 5.
And your 450 wild card?
Oh, shock. 12, baby. Let's go.
There we go.
That's the easiest one ever.
I think
like
Shock makes all 3. He's a good starter. He's a good racer. I think Shock makes all 3. I think Benny and Oldenburg should make all 3, but something will happen to one of them. But I think they should make all 3, and Shock will make all 3. Yep.
Cool.
But
All
we
right.
can't pick them next week. So, all right. Best of luck to you, DB.
Yeah, you too. Good luck. Good luck, bro.
Loser. Okay. TLD Race Tech, Blair Matthes project, week 1. Next week, I'm remote. I may do it from club with Daniel, with the fraud or without. We don't know. We got to figure everything out. But next week will be a little different whenever we do it. So stay tuned for that. Again, thank you for watching and listening. Appreciate it. Thank you, Kellen, for producing the show. And Daniel, good job, buddy. Appreciate it. We'll see you this weekend, right? We'll see you.
No, I'll either be at home or I'll be at a Breaking Benjamin 3 Days Grace concert 10 miles from the Speedway.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
My son, it's dependent on if I can get, he's still on crutches, so, but
Yeah.
he wants to go. Breaking Benjamin's his favorite band. So I'll either be at the concert down the
gotta
road
go.
or,
Pop some a leave.
probably.
Pop some a leave.
That's
and
what I was going
get
to say.
going.
We'll drug him up and take him on in there. So,
Awesome. Well, listen, everybody, thank you again for watching and listening, and we will see you next week.